Hello everyone, welcome back to Of Bricks and Dragons. Today I'm not really going to do, I had mentioned I was going to do the Once Upon a Time in a Wasteland as a actual go through. I did the Star Trek go through in that. I'm kind of running out of trying to be in too many places at one time, so I'm kind of running out of time here. I will figure out how I'm going to get this done here in limited time. I will need some more time to actually dedicate towards this, trying to kind of meet some other things I've got going on here. So outside of needing figures, because I did have the guys go through it. When we went through doing everything with the Star Trek, we were fortunate that we actually had maps. The issues that I ran into, and I admit part of it is I read through about half of this. I didn't fully go through it, so there was a couple little touchy spots. We spent a little extra time because we had 4 people, myself included, just going through the motions, making characters, which really is not all that difficult. But it takes a little bit of time, just trying to figure out exactly what traits you want and stuff like that. The only things that were kind of a negative here, and it's not much of a negative, is unlike Star Trek, where we actually had maps, we didn't have an actual map. So, when we're going through here, we actually get into our vault and we're trying to see things. I'm going to read a couple parts in here. Okay, so we actually have the group comes in and there's a corridor. Now, there's a couple things here in my reading of this, and I didn't take it very well. So, in those regards, whether you just hash out just on a sheet of paper, or if you actually have like a map pre-done, that would really be helpful. And when I was in high school, and this is many eons ago, we did a lot of this stuff without having maps and stuff like that. But I really do find trying to get the point across to the guys today, as we're trying to figure some of these things out, where everything is. And it's different for me to read somebody else's campaign and stuff like that, because I was a little tripped up here. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that's kind of fumbling this up here or whatever. But we actually have the guys go into the vault. I'm trying to see where we are here. Okay. So this is us getting into the vault, and I'm going to read this here. Nope, this is the wrong spot. This is when they actually meet our vault dweller. Okay. Let's see. Human skeletons. All right, here. So this is where we kind of, we come into the vault. So our lift comes down with a cheery ding. The doors slide open to reveal a bare underground corridor of exposed pipes that stretch on for some 30 feet before it bends to the left. Now, let me get a couple pieces here, and alright, so I'm going to say this is our vault. So we got 10, 20, 30 feet. So that's kind of why I did these. And then it bends off to the left. Alright, so I don't have a problem with that. Let's see. Bends to the left. Smears of fresh blood are visible along the right side wall, so over here, leading to a closed steel door halfway down. Now this part I kind of goofed up on because I didn't. The leading to a closed steel door kind of fumbled me up here, and not having a map, I just did not visualize this. With 2 human skeletons entangled with one another just off the side of the door. So that part, just, you know, because I was focusing more on the skeletons, so I kind of fumbled that up. So I'm thinking that if you're doing this, and you know, this is just my thoughts here of the day, if you had a map or something you could actually visually see, that would kind of help. So I will definitely, when me and the guys get going on our next one, I'm going to have to make sure I have a map of what we're trying to see, which, you know, I'm going to be working on trying to come up with maps. I know us or me and the guys, we're not going to really get together for at least a month. And I'll start getting some map ideas and all that, and I'll try and get it up so that way hopefully you guys can get a good picture of it. Maybe you can copy it off. I know people are out there and they know how to do that stuff, more so than I do. But that's my thought here. You know, if we can have like a corridor and we can have maps and stuff like that, and that's what I'm going to start working on. If we're going to do vault maps, just like excuse me, get a dry tickle. Just like if I'm doing Star Trek, I know I have at least one map of a space station. I was fortunate enough, I had some nice big pieces of paper that we could do it, and I do believe I have 1-inch grid squares on it. So and that was something I found on the internet, and I was able to put the squares on there over it, and I was hoping I could find that a little bit. I don't know exactly where I stuck it, and that's, you know, like with everything else, I'll make maps and stuff like that, and I'll kind of tuck it away here and there. But this is kind of where my little issue kind of comes in, going through this. So when we start everything up or whatever, you know, I'm just more or less reading, you know, the nicely highlighted areas. But sometimes when you have some of your off stuff, when I create the stuff, it's stuff that I've made. I might change things here and there, so it's always something new, something fresh or whatever. But unfortunately, when I'm reading someone else's stuff, sometimes I'm kind of flipping up on some things or whatever. These are my thoughts on this. We're going to do this, and I'm going to try and get a map done so that way we can properly see some of this stuff. And then we'll get going. So I won't have a video of this for maybe a couple days. I know I got a kind of interesting week coming up here. I'm going to try and get this done. I want to get a good map done of this, so maybe what I can do, I've got family things I got to take care of, so maybe I can get some paper or something like that, even if I have to sketch all this out myself and go from there instead of doing it off like a computer print off or something like this. Maybe something like what I did for our other map or whatever that I put up, and we'll get stuff like that in here, and I'll kind of go through this. So I think that really helps. Really seems to help the guys, because, you know, that way you have something visual. I don't know how we managed to do it for, you know, the years of high school and everything else. Of course, we didn't have any other option. Nobody was doing any of that stuff for us. And we didn't even just pencil off any little things or whatever. So hopefully what I can do is I will be able to get some kind of maps done up of some of the different rooms you would normally find in the Fallout games. And maybe I can put them up here, so if you know how to freeze frame something and then kind of get it going from there, or maybe I can actually just have it up on the screen and then you guys can take it from there as I'm figuring some of that stuff out. There's ways of doing it and all that. I know a lot of people know how to edit that stuff a lot better than I do. I'm not as much. All right, well, I think I turned off our stuff as I'm putting my hand towards the computer. I like playing video games and stuff like that, but I don't like to spend a lot of extra time and trying to learn everything else while I'm busy at doing other things. I like to put my creative stuff into actually doing the games. So we'll see how all this goes, how good or bad I do, and we'll go from there. I know talking to my best friend tonight, sounds like his son and their other friend and that, everybody had a good time learning the system. This is teaching everyone a pretty good grip of the system. So Modiphius did a very good job at doing that. We will go through doing this, and it will be a second run through for me. And I will get some maps done up so that way it makes it a little easier, I hope. That way when you're seeing this or whatever, you have maps, which I do find is a very big bonus. With that, I'm going to let it go for today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Thanks for sitting around the pool table with me. And we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into on the next video. Have a good time. Thanks for visiting. We'll catch you in the next video.